Hi, it's Lee from Silverback Runner, and today I want to do a review of the Atreyu Artist, which is their racing shoe. I might also add in, I would say, their longer distance shoe, maybe. Give you some background. I recently did a review of the Daily Trainer and really liked it, and I bought the Atreyu Artist at the same time, but because I'm kind of in a transition, I've just finished Berlin. I hadn't really been going out on many of the longer runs, and I wanted to do this for at least 7 or 8 miles. So I went out on Sunday. I think I did about 7.5 miles in the Atreyu, and I just wanted to give my thoughts. Now, they say comparisons are an odious thing, but we'll start off with just the facts. It has got a carbon plate in there. I'm not an expert on carbon plates and stuff because I haven't ran in a lot of shoes. Well, to be honest, this is my first shoe I've ever run with a carbon plate in. So I can't make a comparison based on that fact. It's got a supercritical EVA sole. Now, this is what they've just added to the Daily Trainer here. But you can see there's a lot more of it on here now on the Artist than there is on the Daily Trainer. So you've got the much more stack height. I think my size 11 came in at just under 10 ounces, so it's still a very light shoe. It's a neutral shoe, and it's a 6mm offset, but the difference is between this, both of these shoes are 6mm offsets, but you can kind of see there's less stack height on the Daily Trainer versus the race shoe. So the first thing is that this is not an off-road shoe. I mean, I was running on Sunday. I was running along my beachfront where I live. Had to go over a few stones and stuff. Personally, that was not a problem. I wouldn't have wanted to particularly go off for loads and loads of time off road. So my thoughts. Well, I love it, but probably for reasons that some people, it will be different from some reasons from other people. Now, to give you a comparison, I ran loads of miles in the Cloudflyer On shoe. Now, I loved, and I use the word loved, On shoes because they were gave you quite a lot of support, but they weren't a squishy shoe. I like to be able to feel the ground, but they were fairly well supported up in this upper region, and I felt fine in those. Now, I don't know, I got a new pair, and for some reason there's something different about it. Maybe my preferences have subconsciously changed, but these felt even more, I felt really boxed in by them. Now, to be fair to On, that might be, as I say, because my own preferences are slightly changing, because with the Atreyu Daily Trainer, you can see you've got none of that upper support. It's a neutral, where the On shoe is a stability shoe. There is that stability there. So to be fair to On, it's probably me that's changed, not them, like all relationships. So I started running in this a lot more. What I love about the Artist, for me, is I'm getting a lot of the kind of protection from the ground that I got from the Ons with this supercritical and the thickness of it there. But for me, I'm getting a lot less of the support up here. Now for me, that's great. I did see a review where somebody likened it to a Hoka. I've never ran in Hokas. All I would say is I know Hokas have kind of like stages of support and stages of kind of cushioning. My guess is not many Hokas are that flimsy at the top part of the shoe. But for me, I like that. I like the fact that you've got a very neutral feeling shoe, really supports you well into these parts here, gets you nicely into the shoe. You're not feeling too restricted here. But at the same time, it's not like, it's a lot of give. This is a new shoe, but it's a pretty solid shoe. Now, this is the difference for me. I love that. I love that feel. And I have to say, after running in the daily trainer, I did feel like I was clomping a little bit more. I did feel that it wanted to rock me forward. But I have to be honest, I enjoy running in this more than I enjoyed at this moment in time. It's only about 8 miles in this particular shoe. I'll keep an eye on how that goes. However, and the but here is, you know, over say 10, 15, 20 miles, I may well change my mind and prefer this, where you've got this extra bit of foam here, and it's not giving too much, may become preferential in my taste for the shoe. So first thoughts really on the shoe is, when I was running at, most of the run was fairly sort of steady, easy. When I was running in the kind of 8.5 minute miles, I did feel that, compared at least to the, you know, the daily trainer, it felt quite clumpy. But it was kind of pushing me to go a bit faster. I'm assuming that's the carbon in it kind of rocking you more forward. And once I got that little bit of pace going, I found that I wasn't going all out. I was only kind of like keeping my heart rate in, you know, about a zone 2 for me, which, you know, but I was going a bit faster than I normally would. So my feeling was this shoe was kind of pushing me quicker, and I think I'm really going to enjoy the shoe. I think negatives are really dependent on your requirements. I think if you're the kind of runner that wants more support in these areas, then that's not going to be good for you. When you look at something like the On, and I'm sure many Hokas and other shoes, you've got that solidness through the back here. You've got, you know, it's keeping you in place. The artist is not going to do any of that. You know, it's going to really keep you in place nicely here. Now, the other thing is, I'm about a 10.5 size. I always go up a size or half size. So I normally wear 11. I've been wearing 11 in the daily trainer. I just felt that I could get away with the 10.5 in these for some reason. So I don't know why that is. And, you know, no friction or blisters or any rubbing here, but it just felt a little looser than the daily trainer. So that was interesting. I have to keep an eye on that. And generally felt pretty comfortable in these shoes. I mean, they do lock you in, like the daily trainer, very, very well. A side issue, which I mentioned in the last video, is a lot of people have said this is a very cheap carbon shoe. You know, have a carbon rod in it. I think comparatively it is. But to give you an idea, once you get taxes and stuff, to get this to my door, for me in the UK, is about £116. But it would be very dependent on the taxes and delivery costs in your country. They're going to bump it up. Definitely in the US, I mean, it's $100 to get one of these in your door, and I think there's free delivery in the US. You know, for a carbon plated shoe, that's ridiculous. And I wouldn't start thinking of this as a cheap alternative. This is a good shoe. Now, as I said right at the beginning, I can't make a comparison with other carbon plated shoes. I haven't run enough in them. I've seen enough reviews on YouTube to suggest that this is as good as many of them, and you're not paying nearly as much money. As I say, the cost will rise if you're outside of the USA, and where you live will dependent with the delivery and whatever your country's taxes are, it is going to push it up. So as I say, for the UK, that's meant for me paying about 116. I didn't mind doing that because, as I say, I didn't look at it as, oh, I need a cheap carbon plated shoe. I wanted this shoe because I like the aspects of it, which were, you've got the supercritical foam, so you've got some of the elements of a shoe like the On. You've got, you know, many of the pluses. You've got the carbon, but you've got a lot less, a much more neutral thing going on here, which I personally like. It's going to be very interesting on some of my longer runs as my technique diminishes, particularly at my age, if I feel the same way. And only time will tell, and if it's significantly different, I'll update with another video. But bottom line, a really interesting shoe, and for the sheer fun of having a shoe that feels like you're really connecting to the ground, but you've got something between you and the floor, I'd recommend the Daily Trainer, the base model version 2. But I don't know how I'll get along with that over long distances, you know, 13 miles upwards. I'm definitely going to be interested in trying out the Artist on those distances and seeing how I feel. Just be careful with your sizing, I think. And obviously, if you've been used to a lot of stability up here and around here, be aware of that you haven't got that. But this part of the shoe performs really well. And as I say, though I've got no real experience with carbon plated shoes, a lot of the reviews are saying they're as good as any others. So the real change, I think, is kind of through this part of the shoe. And it's very light, considering you've got all this. As I say, my 11's under, I think it's 9 and a bit ounces. So a great shoe. Really interested to see how it performs over time. Okay, and if you've enjoyed the video, please, you know, give us a like at some point. That would be great. Or subscribe to see more of my videos. Hope this has helped, and speak to you really soon. Bye for now.